Before you continue scrolling, I want you to pause for just a moment and notice how you feel right now. Not your thoughts, not the worries pressing in from every direction, not the endless to-do lists or expectations, but what's quietly moving inside of you. Lately, life has felt different, hasn't it? Things you once loved don't bring the same joy. Conversations that used to feel meaningful now seem shallow. Routines you relied on feel hollow, like they no longer fit the rhythm of your life. Even the simplest moments seem heavier, quieter, more reflective. And if you've been wondering why, this is the space where clarity begins. You may have expected growth to feel exciting or bold, like a sudden victory or a wave of confidence. But true transformation rarely arrives that way. Growth doesn't make noise. It doesn't appear with fanfare. It shows up subtly, in the way you notice yourself thinking differently, in the way your heart feels a little lighter and a little heavier all at once. It's the quiet awareness that you are becoming someone new, even if the world around you hasn't changed. That small, uncomfortable shift inside is not a problem. It's a signal. It's God moving gently in your inner world, preparing you for what is coming next. Imagine a seed planted beneath the soil. No one sees the roots spreading deep. No one notices the slow work happening in the dark. And yet, life is growing. The seed does not need to shout to become a tree. It simply follows the process, patiently, steadily, without fuss. You are like that seed. And the quiet restlessness, the strange, unfamiliar feelings, the subtle sense of change, they are all part of the transformation taking place beneath the surface. So, if life feels different lately, if you feel slower, more thoughtful, more aware, do not rush to fix it. Do not fear it. And do not question your purpose. This is growth. And growth always feels different before it feels right. In the next part, we'll explore what this growth actually feels like in your daily life, so you can understand it, embrace it, and move forward with peace. So, what does this growth feel like in your everyday life? It shows up in ways you may not have noticed at first. You wake up, and the mornings feel different, quieter, slower, more intentional. The things that once excited you, the shows, the scrolling, the constant chatter, suddenly feel empty. You find yourself drawn to stillness, even if it's just a few minutes to sit in silence, to watch the light shift across the room, or to notice the wind through the trees. You may notice that conversations feel different. You listen more and speak less. You notice subtleties, the pause in someone's voice, the meaning behind a gesture that you didn't before. It isn't judgment, and it isn't criticism. It's simply awareness, a heightened sensitivity to the world around you. Sometimes it feels like distance. People and situations you used to relate to now feel distant, not because they have changed, but because you have. You start prioritizing your energy differently. What used to drain you no longer fits, and what used to seem ordinary now holds weight. Growth feels like subtle discomfort, a quiet tension between who you were and who you're becoming. And in your daily routine, you might notice these small shifts. Tasks that once felt automatic now make you pause. Choices that once seemed trivial now carry more thought. Moments of silence, reflection, or prayer feel deeper, more meaningful. Growth whispers to you. It nudges you to reflect, to reconsider, to realign. And though it feels unfamiliar, it is leading you forward. It is important to understand that this isn't a phase of weakness or confusion. This is the subtle, inner work of transformation, the kind that changes your heart before it changes your circumstances. And just like the roots of a tree spreading silently beneath the soil, the growth inside you is unseen, yet real, and preparing you for the next stage of your life. Now that you've noticed how things feel different and how subtle changes are showing up in your daily life, it's natural to wonder why it feels uncomfortable. Growth rarely feels easy. It challenges you internally before it changes anything externally. It stretches your mind, your heart, and even the way you relate to the world around you. Think of it like walking through a narrow path after years of wide open spaces. The path itself isn't dangerous, but it feels confining because you're not used to it. Your body resists the unfamiliar. Your mind questions, why is this happening? Your emotions may tug you back toward what's familiar, even if familiar no longer serves you. That tension you feel, that's growth shaping you quietly beneath the surface. It shows up in daily life, in small ways. Decisions that used to feel automatic now require thought. Moments that used to feel ordinary now feel heavy with meaning. Comfort zones that once seemed safe now feel restrictive. And sometimes, people and situations that once felt aligned now feel distant, not because they have changed, but because you are becoming different. This discomfort is not a sign that something is wrong. It is a signal that transformation is underway. Your heart is learning to let go of the old. Your mind is opening to new understanding, and your spirit is preparing for what God has next for you. Growth feels strange because it's unseen. It works quietly, inside, before it touches the world outside. And if you embrace it, rather than resist it, you will begin to recognize the direction you are being led. Now that you understand how growth feels, it's important to see it through God's perspective. The discomfort, the quiet shifts, the moments when life feels heavier or slower, these are not accidents. They are part of the divine process. The Bible tells us that growth often begins in the unseen, in the quiet, in the places we cannot measure. Consider Romans 12:2. Do not conform to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Transformation starts internally. It begins with the way you think, the way you perceive, the way you respond. That quiet unease you feel, it's your mind and heart renewing themselves, preparing you for a life that aligns with God's plan. Or Jeremiah 29:11, "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future." Sometimes God moves first, on the inside. He shifts your awareness, your desires, and your perspective before the circumstances around you change. That is why life can feel different now, not because you are failing, but because God is preparing you for what's next. Even Paul knew that growth is rarely comfortable. 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, "For our light and momentary troubles are achieving for us an eternal glory that far outweighs them all." The trials, the tension, the subtle unease you feel, these are not obstacles. They are tools of growth. God is shaping, refining, and strengthening you, quietly, deliberately, steadily. So, if you've been feeling restless, reflective, or different lately, understand this. It is a sign that God is at work in you. Your growth is intentional. Your awareness is a gift. And the life you are being prepared for is far greater than what you have known before. Now that you understand what growth feels like and why it sometimes feels uncomfortable, it's time to embrace it, to lean into the quiet shifts rather than resist them, to trust that the restlessness, the reflection, and even the moments of uncertainty are all part of God's plan for you. Growth is a journey, not a destination. It doesn't happen all at once, and it rarely feels obvious while it's happening. But each subtle shift, each quiet realization, each moment you feel different is shaping you into the person you were created to be. Psalm 32:8 reminds us, "I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you." Even when life feels unfamiliar, God sees you. Even when you feel uncertain, He is guiding you. Every step of growth, the uncomfortable, the quiet, the unseen, is intentional. So if today feels different, slow, or uncertain, don't fight it, don't rush it. Instead, notice it, reflect on it, and allow it to guide you toward wisdom, peace, and clarity. Start small. Take a few minutes in silence each day. Notice your thoughts and feelings without judgment. Let go of what no longer serves your growth. Trust the path God is leading you on. Remember, growth always feels different before it feels right, and that difference is not a sign of weakness or failure. It is a sign of life, of change, and of God's quiet, steady work within you. So lean in, trust the process, and embrace the transformation that is unfolding in you right now.